Good morning, everybody. This is Tyler's Talking Sports. If this is your first time tuning in, we're so glad to have you here. My name is Tyler Hess. On the other side of the mic, my brother from another mother, Tyler Castle. You'll meet him in a few minutes, and I think you'll like him. If this is your first time tuning in, you got to know what you're listening to. Here at Tyler's Talking Sports, we cover college football, we cover college basketball, we cover college baseball. You name it in the college world, we're talking about it. From breaking news to big games to new coaching hires to kids entering the transfer portal, we cover it all. So, if you love what you're listening to and you love this episode, be sure to find us on all major podcasting platforms. Find us on social media. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Be sure to give us a follow and a like there. We're also on YouTube and TikTok, but on YouTube, be sure to give us a subscribe, because when you do, that allows you to get exclusive content that nobody else gets that's not subscribed to us. When you subscribe to us on YouTube, you get exclusive access to our 10-minute episodes that we drop weekly throughout the week. Plus, our 2 episodes we drop every Monday and Thursday at 6 a.m. You're not going to want to miss any of the content we have. And we appreciate you guys being here, and we hope you enjoy the episode.
This episode is brought to you by Next Level Fitness Club in Lebanon, Virginia. 1806 East Main Street, Lebanon, Virginia, 24266. They are a 24/7 gym facility, 24/7 tanning. They also offer certified personal training and certified functional fitness classes to fit all needs. If you're in the market for a gym membership, this is a great place to hit up. Hit up Ethan, Tyler, or Jordan at any of their numbers, and check out their website at www.nextlevelfitnessclub276.com.
This episode is brought to you by Little's Lawn Care. Little's Lawn Care is the all-you-need lawn care people. You need your yard mowed, you need your leaves blowed out of your yard, you need your gutters cleaned out, contact Little's Lawn Care at 276-698-5104. Again, that number is 276-698-5104. You can text them and you can call him. His name is Brandon Little. He's an incredible person, and be sure you let him know that Tyler sent you.
And we're live, Season 3, Episode 4, Basketball with a Little Baseball. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Glad you are here. If it's your first time tuning in, this is Tyler's Talking Sports. On the other side of the mic, my brother from another mother, Tyler Hess, and myself, Tyler Castle, bringing you Tyler's Talking Sports. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you. Hess, you having a great week so far?
It's been a busy week, man, but I can't complain too much. It's work's been a little overwhelming, but other than that, it's not been bad, man. It's been a good week. It's kind of moved on a little faster than, if you look at how work's been, you think that'd be a slow week, but it's kind of when we're looking. It's Thursday morning, so We're almost through it, man. Super Bowl
almost
weekend.
Almost through it. I'm ready for the weekend. We got a big game. I know we don't talk about the pros, but a big game this weekend.
Absolutely.
The biggest of bowls.
The big bowl.
The Super Bowl.
Ticket prices have plummeted over 40% over the last
I wonder why. I mean, maybe people are finally starting to catch on. Now, sorry if there's any Kansas City fans out there, but maybe they're finally starting to catch on that it's all just rigged.
Well, Goodell and the head NFL referee came out this week, the chief in charge or whatever, and said, one, there's no collusion or anything going on with the refs. And the head ref said, how would 183 referees in the NFL be cheering for or be siding with one team? So, but my point with that is, it's got to the point. Usually, Goodell
pretty obvious.
Goodell just ignores any of the outside drama about the NFL.
But now he's bringing it up,
and to the point. So it's at that point. But I'll ask you. We won't get too much into it.
Yeah.
Not so much who are you cheering for, but who do you think is going to win this Super Bowl?
I mean, I'm hoping, and I'll say it. I'm cheering for him. I'm cheering for the Eagles, which is really hard for me to say coming from a Pittsburgh fan.
Yeah.
But I just do not like Kansas City. I don't know what it is. I never have really liked them, even before the Mahomes era. Just not a big fan. Just never have been. Yeah. But, I think Saquon Barkley, I'd love to see Barkley. He's a great player. I thought he was excellent on the Giants, and I thought the Giants always screwed him over. I always thought he was better than what he was there. Obviously, It's showing. He's got a chance now to win the Super Bowl. So I like Barkley a lot. I hope Barkley has a big game, and I hope the Eagles get another Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think it would be great to see. I think it would be on a flip side, I think it would be interesting to see, though, as much as I hate this as a Broncos fan, say the Chiefs win 3 in a row, if they won 3 in a row, to see history, because you never know. You might not ever see that. I mean, we've only seen it, once in sports the Lakers. I think me and you seen
Lakers,
it in our
Yankees.
life.
The Yankees
Yankee.
3-time?
I don't know if they were 2 or 3, but I know the Lakers did. It was the last
97,
one to
98,
do it.
99, I think, right?
I just know the Lakers was the last to do it. And that was in our lifetime.
I'm looking.
But I'm cheering for the Eagles, and that's really hard for me to say because I am an all-time Philly hater. I don't like anything in Philly. I don't like the Phillies. I don't like anything there. I don't like the 76ers.
I was a year ahead, 98, 99, 2000.
Okay, so then the Lakers did it.
It's the Lakers. That's it.
So
the Bulls.
Oh yeah, the Bulls. Yeah. So I was alive for it. All. I don't know if you was.
Not all of them.
So I've seen 3 3-peats in my lifetime. So, but I can't really. I remember the Lakers. I don't remember the Yankees.
I guess this would be the first NFL.
Yes, it
repeat,
would.
right?
It
yeah.
would. The Broncos were the last team or the Patriots were the last team.
Oh yeah, the Patriots. Yeah.
And then the Broncos before that, 97, 98.
The Patriots, my God, they were stupid.
I'll be honest with you. I'm cheering for the Eagles, and I actually think they win this game.
You have to. It's Georgia 2.0.
It really is. It's that 2021 national championship team, and I'm excited for those guys. I mean, I think the Eagles did great drafting those guys because you knew they were successful together on one team. Bring them to another when that defense is loaded, and I think I think the Eagles win this game because of that front four. There's 3 Georgia boys on that front line. I think they're going to give that offensive line for the Chiefs a hard time.
Open up the run game, baby. That's what you're thinking.
I will say this, listeners. If it's a close game with 2 minutes left and the Chiefs are down, but they got the ball, throw all your money on the Chiefs because they're going to win the game. Because Mahomes is 7-0 in games when he's behind with 2 minutes to go and he gets the ball at least once.
Wow.
He's 7-0. He's the only quarterback in NFL history. Yeah. But,
Gosh.
yeah, go Eagles. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of excited about
Honestly,
it. Honestly,
I think it's Philadelphia and Kansas City that are cheering for their teams, and everybody else in the nation is just ready for baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or NASCAR.
Or NASCAR. I got 500 next week.
Hey, Hess asked a question, guys. Now, Hess is a NASCAR guy. I did watch the first it's not actual race, but it's a fun race, right? Yeah, I did watch 100 laps of it, which is the most I've watched since Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr. probably retired. That's the most I've watched. So I'm going to try to get back into it. Right now, I'm leaning towards Chase Elliott. I really like him. I'm not just saying that because he won the first race.
Chase is a good guy.
I texted Hess before that and said I like Chase Elliott. So
we were talking about stuff.
I'm thinking about going Chase Elliott. My wife has never been. In case y'all don't know, we record in Southwest Virginia. We're 30 minutes from Bristol. So Bristol Motor Speedway. She's never been, so I'm thinking about taking her maybe to the spring race.
That'd be good.
Take her over there. And what's that, the Food City? Is that Food City?
Yeah, that'd be the Food City 500.
Food City 500. So I'm thinking about taking her there. So I have to have a driver. It's a must if you go to a race.
Yeah.
And, of course, watch turns go in left turns. Or watch cars go in left turns.
Watch turns go in left turns.
Turns go in left turns. That's what it's like. Constant turns.
I think you're coming back at a good time as far as NASCAR.
Yeah, I'm going to try to learn the rules. That's what I told Danielle. I think I'm going to actually try to pay attention to it and see if I can watch it.
And another thing to help you out.
Because I got into it hard there back in the day with you.
Yeah. Another thing, one more thing on NASCAR, as far as you trying to get back into it, I strongly suggest Dale Jr.'s podcast, Dale Jr. Download.
Oh, yeah.
He don't talk just about current things. He brings on old drivers and stuff, but he gets you kind of in the mood. Yeah, he gets you kind of in the mood for NASCAR. And then Denny Hamlin's podcast, he talks about each race, and he gives a very unbiased opinion on everything. And he says things that NASCAR's penalized him for like, hey, you're detriment to NASCAR for saying that. He's like, I don't care. I'm telling you the truth. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope it works out. I hope you're like, man, I'm into it.
I'll let you know. See. I know we got Daytona coming up in 2 weeks, so I always like Daytona. But 14th or 15th?
14th. What's Sunday?
Is it Saturday or Sunday race? 15th. 15th, right?
And next week they'll be in Daytona. They start qualifying and practice and the Gatorade duels. So you have some racing next week before the Daytona 500. Okay. But yeah, I proposed a question today on our Facebook, just kind of reaching out. I've thought about doing like a recap of NASCAR, a little short 30-minute episode after races.
If I get into it, I'll do it with you.
Right. But I knew that I would be right now the main one. Right now, it didn't get much traction, which was expected because we are a college sports podcast. But I was just trying to reach out and grab some other audience members and find some stuff that people are interested in. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But let's get on with this episode. I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Which Division I basketball conference has the most national titles?
Basketball.
Yes.
Which D1 conference has the most national titles?
I'll give you a hint. It is one of the Power 5, Power 4 conferences.
Big
12. You also got nope.
Big 10.
Close. Yep, Big 10. They got 30.
I knew it was one of those two. Big 12's got to be close up there.
It was, I think it was Big 10, and then the Big East.
Oh yeah,
the Big 12, The ACC had 8, and the SEC was right behind the Big 12.
I forget how the Big East broke up.
You got to think about Kentucky. And the Pac-12 was up there because when UCLA won like 12 straight, it was up there.
Yeah,
and
70s,
90s. The SEC was single-handedly carried by Kentucky.
Yeah, SEC has one team for 40 years. Yeah, that's true.
So
I knew it wouldn't be. Reading that question, I knew it wouldn't be SEC. Now, if we're talking football, I think SEC is second.
I would say there's.
I think it's
Alabama's run.
I think it's Big Ten and football. I'm about positive because Ohio State. You got to think.
I don't know, man. You got USC won a bunch. UCLA's won some out there.
I'm gonna go. I mean, you don't have to look this up, but I'm just guessing. I think it's probably in football. SEC is close. It's either SEC or Big Ten. It's got to be one of the two. It might be SEC because they've won here quite a bit in the last 20 years, but I'm gonna say it's close.
Guess I'll tell you this: Yale has won the most national championships in Division I football.
Yale?
Yeah, they've won 18.
Okay. When? What years?
I just clicked out of it. But Yale has 18. They won in 1874.
Okay.
They won 1874 through 1887. No, 18. No, they won from 1874 to 19.
I mean, was there any other universities they were playing, or was it just like, hey, we're one football team, we're the national champions?
While most college football fans would guess Alabama has won the most national championships, the correct answer is Yale. In the 1800s,
I say in the modern era, it's Alabama.
Alabama's got 16.
Yeah.
Princeton has 15.
That's crazy.
Notre Dame has 13. Michigan has 10. USC has 9. Ohio State. So, yeah, I'd say it's the Big Ten. Then you got Harvard.
Yeah,
Harvard's up there.
I'd say Big Ten probably.
Minnesota's won 6 national titles.
Really?
Yeah.
How many Nebraska won? 3?
They're not on this list. So
the last one was like 92.
Minnesota's won 1934, 35, 36, 40, 41, and 1960.
Sheesh.
Oklahoma has won 7.
It's been a while, but
yeah, but still, that's Big
feels
Ten.
like 1960.
Out of these 8 teams here, 3 of them are Big Ten schools.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess Big Ten.
Yeah,
seriously, Big Ten's probably powerhouse in that.
We also had some local. Today was National Signing Day. I followed a little bit of it. Most of the big signings happened back in December at the early National Signing Day. But we did have some big news from our local team here, Honaker Tigers. Their star quarterback, Peyton Musick, signed with Emory and Henry. Very excited about that. Congratulations to Peyton for signing with Emory and Henry. I'm excited about that because, 1, we get to cover him. 2, gives us a chance.
Late there. Sorry.
Oh, you good?
Crowd's coming in late. Sorry about that.
Gives us a chance maybe to bring him on the show sometime and talk about the recruiting part of it and ask him about Emory and Henry, why he chose Emory and Henry, and maybe get to bring him and Seth on there.
That's what I was going to say. We'll have to hit up old Seth Stanley, Seth Stanley special. Bring him on and let them talk Emory. Me and you just kind of sit to the side.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, congrats to Peyton, great quarterback, all-state quarterback for 2 years in a row, broke state records in passing yards. Very interested to see what his outlook is over the next 4 years, what he's kind of thinking. So kind of pick his brain if we ever get him on. Also,
and just before you move on, I just want to let our viewers know the reason I keep looking up, guys. Remember, we record on Wednesday nights, and my Tennessee Vols are playing Missouri right now, and they're tied 46-46. So I'm really trying to keep this up. Tennessee just went on like a 12-2 run.
Obviously, yeah. Dang. But to finish out National Signing Day, the number 1 recruiting class in the country was Texas, followed by Georgia, Oregon, Alabama, Ohio State. Surprising, Auburn at 6, Michigan at 7.
Don't sleep on old Hugh Freeze.
LSU, Brian Kelly at 8, Texas A&M at 9, and Florida at 10. The big thing I take out of this is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 SEC schools in this. So
where's my balls at? They're not top 15? They were up there.
Last I seen, they were like 12th or 13th.
Okay. That's fine.
They're there. But I will say, ball at the balls, this is their lowest recruiting class under Heupel.
Yeah, it's all right.
But hey, you got talent already
coming in after that's stupid.
But you didn't have to build anything. Like he's had to build these last couple of years.
People there, yeah.
But what's really cool is when you've already got an established program like Texas, Georgia, Oregon. But Oregon failed. They were number 2. Yeah, Oregon was number 2. They failed today. They lost 2 big time recruits today. And another the biggest jump.
17 from Texas. God, how much money are they pushing out?
The biggest jump today was UNC. They went from ranked 112 in recruiting to 45th.
God.
Yeah.
Belichick doing work.
Yeah, he did some big work. And I don't know, they're recruiting a local kid out of Abingdon. He actually came to visit the boy.
Oh
out of
yes,
Abingdon,
the lineman.
the lineman,
He's 6'7", I think,
6'7",
270. He's a junior. Yeah.
He came and actually visited him in Abingdon. That kid's getting looked at by UNC, Clemson, Tennessee, Georgia. I think he's got a visit scheduled for Alabama when I was looking.
He's either 6'5" or 6'7", but he's 270.
Huge.
Yeah, he's
and he
270.
He's all state in football. He's all state in baseball, and he also plays basketball.
Multi-sport athlete. Love it.
But let's talk about what everybody's here for.
Yeah.
This is basketball season. We had some big games on Monday, and I'll start this one off because I've been high on this team. And
yeah, boy.
I think it's time for me to come off of that one. So, Jacob, you're welcome.
Hang on. Jacob is ready.
Kansas played Iowa State. This game was a terrible first half for Iowa State. That was literally what lost them the game. They were down 35-19 at half. They played really good in the second half, but it was just a little too late for that. They ended up losing this game 69-52. Kansas, like I said, I knew it was a tough place to play at home. I didn't expect it to be that big. I mean, I know it's what is it, 17-point game almost.
Yeah, 17 points.
Yeah. So in my gut, I guess I could have said, Kansas may win this game because it is at Allen Fieldhouse, but I didn't expect it to be this way. But
I said on the last pod, I said Kansas is a tough place to play. Mm-hmm. And both these teams are coming off 2 losses in a row. So both of them were extremely motivated during this game. And I think when 2 great programs, I think both these teams are great programs. Now, Jacob, don't take me wrong. I'm not saying they're better than Duke. I'm just saying they're an established and great program.
Yeah, Brandon Little, too. We're not saying anything bad about Duke.
I'm not saying anything bad about Duke, but I'm just saying these 2 teams are premier programs. They're good programs this year. They're in top 25 all year. Mm-hmm. So when 2 teams that are playing each other and they're both on a 2-game skid, I'm going to take the home team. Yeah. Just that's my take.
I mean, Kansas came out in this game, just wanted it more. Iowa State, they showed some flaws over these last 3 games. Though their defense has found some holes in it, which is kind of shocking to me. They did still hold them under 70, which actually is not that bad.
This is your biggest problem with Iowa State. Their leading score, 11 points, 3 for 13 shooting. I think Iowa State has been exposed finally. I'm glad you're finally seeing it because I've been telling you for weeks I don't see it, and I think now you're finally starting to see it with the teams and competition they're playing.
I got my Final Four imaginary bracket here.
Now, you still had Iowa State. Are you still with Iowa State?
I'm grabbing Iowa State right now, and I'm taking them to at least the Sweet 16.
Ooh, moving them down 2 spots, or back 2 brackets.
Yeah, back to the Sweet 16. Just the scoring, like you said. The defense is still there, I believe. I mean, they held Kansas to under 70. I mean, close, but still. The games they've lost, they haven't lost bad. This is probably one of their worst losses out of the last 3. But the scoring, when Curtis gets shut down.
Yeah, Curtis Jones.
Curtis Jones. Yeah, he gets shut down. Like Joshua Jefferson stepped up here.
Yeah,
he was 3 for 13 from the field with 11 points, and that's not going to cut it. You got to have people, and that's what
we had a new leading scorer for Kansas.
Yeah,
Zeke Mayo. We didn't have Caleb Love for once, so 6 for 13 shooting.
Whoa, Caleb Love plays for Arizona.
Sorry, golly, what am I thinking?
Usually it's Hendrickson.
But yes, we did have a new score. Sorry about that, guys. Zeke Mayo, thank you, Hess.
You're big on Arizona, I guess.
I am big on the Zona. Don't count them out just yet. I'll say that so they will lose this week.
I'm hoping that I'm saying this and Iowa State just comes out and dominates this weekend, so we'll see what happens. But they got some.
Here's the thing, okay? I think it's hard to beat great teams 3 times in a row. I really will say that because, I mean, look at Tennessee. I can't compare Auburn or Duke because they ain't lost 3 games. But it's hard to beat a great team 3 times in a row. So Iowa State's lost 3 in a row. I think they're going to be tough this next game. Who they got next?
To look. A big thing here with Iowa State here is I think if you're going to lose, this is the perfect time to do it. Get it out. Lose now than later.
And let me say this too. I mean, based off that, Iowa State's still 17-5, guys. So,
oh yeah.
I mean, not terrible, but they're losing these ranked games, so that hurts. Because that tells me, okay, when you play an actual decent opponent, what's going to happen?
They got TCU this weekend.
TCU, okay. I knew it was a Texas
team. So they got a little. They can rebound here. They got TCU, then they got UCF, which could be interesting.
That's tough.
At UCF. Then they got
UCF
Cincinnati.
lost to Kansas by 2, right?
They got a stretch here. 1, 2, 3, 4 games in a row here that are easily winnable games. Their next big matchup is on the 22nd. They play at Houston.
Ooh,
That'll be a test to see, okay, they've lost 3 in a row. They can win these games. What do they got against Houston? If they lose that game, then big sound the alarm. Right now, it's kind of like, okay, we're in a bad stretch. Let's get over it. Let's get over the hump. Let's get our foot back on the pedal and start winning games again.
yeah. We'll see.
Next game, I'll let you talk about it, but I'll introduce it. I put this one on here because, you've talked about Pitt. Been really high on Pitt this year, 14-8 Pitt. They played UVA.
And got whooped.
Yeah.
73-57. Pitt drops to 14-8, as you mentioned. Virginia almost over that 500 mark, 11-12 now. Virginia dominated the first half. Looked like old school defense from Virginia. They held Pitt to 19 points in the first half, looking like Bennett's still coaching out there, but he wasn't, and he hasn't. And I think that's reflecting on the record of being 11-12 at the moment. So definitely a rebuild year for UVA. It's not the same UVA we've had in the past 15 years. But Ames, I think I'm saying that right.
I worked.
DAI. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But he did drop 27 points, 11-16 shooting. So have a night, young fella. And then Ismail Leggett, Leggett, he's legit. He had 17 points, 7-11 shooting. So very sound, very good there. Obviously, defense was a problem. Second half, Virginia still outscored Pitt by 1, but it was just too much since the first half. Just all around great win for UVA as a road game too, traveling to Pitt. Great to see. ACC still kind of up in the air as far as I think you definitely have Duke at the caliber. So there you go, making sure Duke fans are happy. You got Duke at the top, Louisville, Clemson, and the rest.
Yeah, I agree with that. And before we go on any farther, let's talk about the ACC. Did have big coaching news come out this week. I didn't put this on here, but Leonard Hamilton, the longtime head coach of FSU, he's been there since, I think, 2012, maybe longer than that, 2002. He has put in his resignation. He's resigning at the end of the season due to the NIL and the work ethic of players. He said he don't like the new generation, and it's time for him to step away. So FSU –
seen that a lot.
FSU's a prime. That's 3 coaches out of the ACC, though. That's Leonard Hamilton.
He also had offensive coordinator today. I'm not trying to switch up sports, but Hess and I are very big on college football. Offensive coordinator from Virginia Tech is leaving to go to Ohio State.
Really?
Did you see that? Yes.
I did see Ohio State promoted.
I can't remember his name.
I did see that Ohio State promoted Brian Hartline to the OC job.
Tyler Bowen. Offensive line. Offensive line,
yeah.
Yeah, so losing their offensive line coach.
They did promote Brian Hartline, All-American there. He won a couple of national titles there. They promoted him to OC, so they had to fill a spot there. But, yeah, this is 3 coaches in the ACC. Bennett, Laurinega, and now Hamilton is stepping down at the end of the season with Hamilton.
Yeah. Huge.
And because of NIL deals, and it's not from, little schools. UVA, FSU, and Miami, those are perennial tournament teams.
Yeah.
Interesting.
UVA, definitely. They got the money.
And Florida State, Florida State's been a great team.
Yeah. The leader of the ACC.
Yeah, they've been up there for a while. So it's going to be interesting to see who they get for a coach. So I wanted to mention that. But let's jump into Tuesday. What was the game we had first on Tuesday?
Big game on Tuesday. Very happy to see this one because this goes back to what I've been reflecting on all year. St. John's played Marquette. Marquette traveled to St. John's. St. John's wins 70-64, improving to a stellar 20-3 on the season. Marquette drops to 18-5. St. John's, man, I've been talking about them. I've circled them, which is bad because every team I've circled and talked about, they usually start losing after that. But
right.
I circled St. John's last pod. I'm gonna circle them again, and this is a team that I very well could see they can make a deep run when it comes tournament time next month. Kaderi Richmond, I mentioned him, I think, last week. I think he was the leading scorer as well. He dropped 18 points again, 8 of 14 shooting. Chase Ross from Marquette was the leading scorer with 16 on 4 of 13 shooting. Marquette, man, I told you. I just don't see it. I think they're a good team. I think they'll make a decent run, but I'm Sweet 16, round of 32, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I see that. And cool thing here about St. John's, they play all their home games at Madison Square Garden. So why would you not want to go play for St. John's as a basketball team, as a basketball player? You get to play MSG almost every game of your career.
And I don't think it's fair too. I'm gonna say this: I don't think the bias is fair towards the SEC, and because we've gotten ragged on a little bit about the SEC. But St. John's is 20-3, and they got them ranked 12th.
Yeah.
and they just beat Marquette. Now, granted, Marquette's 11th, so St. John should jump them in next week's rankings, but still, I mean, 20-3, that's
that's
impressive.
the thing, too. Like, a lot of people talk about, well, you got great coaches in the SEC, so it's easy to talk with them. They got Rick Pitino at St. John's.
Yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer.
You see what he said about, like, what it felt like missing free throws? He said he felt dead inside. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That post-game interview?
Yeah. I mean, Rick Pitino's a great coach, and this St. John's – if this St. John's team can get a good draw in the tournament, I'm looking at maybe like a 3 or 4 seed for them, and they're not in a really tough bracket.
Everybody's talking about them. Everybody's talking about the SEC.
Yeah, with Rick Pitino there, who's been there, who's went through the Kevin Ware injury with Louisville and recovered from that and won a national title. What he did at Kentucky, winning a national title at Kentucky. Very good chance right here. We're looking at St. John's could make a run, and we could look at St. John's as a Final Four team. I'm not saying it's a lock or anything, but
I wouldn't say a lock yet. I'm going to say Elite Eight at the moment, just based off the teams that I've watched.
And it's Big East basketball. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Big East is a basketball conference. I don't care where the SEC is ranked or the ACC is ranked. You think
Big East is usually always there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why I went with the Big East. Sorry, did I go Big 12?
Big 12.
I went Big 12.
That was a good one. I mean, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas.
Yeah.
But, yeah, St. John's, watch out for them. I'm with you on the St. John's. Marquette, I look at them. They're in worse shape, I think, than Iowa State. I know I've talked a lot about Marquette. I think they're in worse shape.
I put them in the same boat. Put them two teams in the same boat. I think they're a mid-caliber team, top 25, but you're looking at like a 15th to 20th is where I put them.
Okay.
And that's just solely based off depth and, honestly, just experience. I think that plays a huge role. Yeah. But we know how this goes. We talk like this, and one of those teams catches fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they shoot 60% the entire tournament.
Or we eat our words and get talked about for a week and a half by a doctor and a guy who mows yards. So
what's going to be funny is when Duke loses like round 2.
Oh, we'll wait. I got some things to say about Duke. It's pretty funny. Not nothing like about the team, but funny about Cooper Flag.
Okay.
But the next game we got here, Florida played Vanderbilt at Florida in the Swamp. Florida improves to 19-3 after winning 86-75.
Sorry, I know I'm going to get ragged on about that Duke comment a minute ago, so just break it. Come on.
Bring it. This game was very close at half. Vandy was actually up 36-35 at half, but they played no defense in the second half. Florida outscored them 51-39. Will Richards led Florida with 21 points. He was 8 for 11 from the field. Jason Edwards, who has been the perennial number one guy for Vandy this year, 20 points, 7 for 13 from the field. Vandy just didn't have nothing left in the tank. I think they kept it
Let
close.
me state this, too. This game, was at Florida, so that's a tough place to play. But Florida played without my star player for them, Walter Clayton Jr.
Okay.
He did not play that game.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he did not play. So that's a huge piece. When I was watching that first half, I was like, oh, Vandy's up 1. Now, Vandy did beat Tennessee. Vandy beat Kentucky.
Yeah.
So Vandy's not a slouch. They're 16-6. They were just ranked last week. Just dropped out of rankings, obviously, because they got beaten down, I think, by Ole Miss or Mississippi State, one of those two. I get SEC confused because it plays so much. But anyway, they just got demolished by 20 points just the week before. So losing to 11 in the Swamp, even though the Swamp didn't have their best player, not terrible.
Not terrible.
That's the key thing, though. That's why Florida struggled in that first half. But then you can see they put up 51 in the second half when Will Richard went off. He only missed 3 shots.
Vandy could be a team you get in the SEC tournament that you don't want to play. They could be a team that could shock some people.
Vandy and Missouri. If Missouri stays right now, 55-60, Tennessee's on top. But Missouri is shooting, I found this out, they're shooting 44% from three-point on the season.
They're great.
So almost 50%. That's pretty good.
But we got another game to talk about here. And I would like to say something I said on this podcast over the last couple of weeks, it happened. I tentatively put Michigan State on upset alert, and they traveled to UCLA, 2 games in LA back-to-back. UCLA pulls off the upset 63-61. Great game. Literally, both teams were pretty much even the entire game. At half, UCLA was up 35-28. That became just a little bit too much to overcome for Michigan State. They ended up outscoring them in the second half, 33-28, but it was a little too late. UCLA improves to 17-6 on the season. Michigan State falls to 18-4. I look for UCLA to be ranked, depending on what happens this weekend.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
About 25th or so, 24th, 25th. Leading scorer for UCLA, Sky Clark. He had 14 points. He was abysmal 3 for 10 from the field, but he did make his free throws. And the leading scorer for Michigan State was Jaden Atkins. We talked about him a little bit here and there. He had 15 points. He was 6 for 14 from the field, not much better, and he didn't have any free throw attempts. Michigan State losing here.
That's back-to-back losses for Michigan State.
Yeah.
Right after I just circled them. See the pattern?
Do you think, though, it's this insane travel arrangements for the Big Ten?
I think so, because the game before that, correct me, USC, right? They lost to USC 64-70, so 6-point loss. 2-point loss here. Here's the thing, okay? Michigan State's 18-4, and they probably have one of the top 5 coaches still in college basketball.
Of all time.
Yeah, of all time, seriously. Yeah. He's in the GOAT conversation. So, Tom Izzo, and hold up. Duke fans, don't come after me. I know Coach K is the GOAT. Okay, just want to clarify this again. I know I'm coming at y'all this episode, so I don't want to get, rationalized or anything, or y'all come after me. So Coach K is up here. Okay, we got Coach K. We got Izzo right here. Okay, right below. Just letting them know. But Izzo is definitely a top 5 coach.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think he will figure out how to close out games with this young team, and I think we'll see Michigan State start turning a different path here once they get back home. They just travel 2 road games, like I said. I think next game's home this Saturday. Mm-hmm. I think they'll be fine. So I'm still going to circle Michigan State.
I like it. I believe in Michigan State. I mean, a bumping road. It happens. Yeah. And just so everybody knows where I stand, I got Coach K 1. I got Bob Knight 2. Roy Williams, I got him 3. And then I got Jim Boeheim.
I was about to say, where's Boeheim?
I got Boeheim and Izzo. You could flip those either way.
4 or 5.
But
honestly, Patino could be up there.
Patino's up there, but
I don't know you're going to hate this. Coach Calipari. Yes, he'd be like right in that conversation towards top 5.
I'll put Calipari top 10 because of the national titles and what he's done.
If Rick Barnes can freaking win a national title, I'd put him in the top.
Long way to go for most of these current coaches. I mean, Izzo's still out there coaching. I mean, Izzo's been coaching since me and you were in the womb. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
I'm saying Izzo's top 5.
One more we're forgetting about. Another Hall of Fame coach is still coaching today. Bill Self.
Oh, yeah, Self for Kansas, yeah.
Yeah, he's up there. So,
yeah, Self's a stud.
Another game here. Another potential coach that is
one really more coach, good. Gonzaga.
Oh, Mark Few.
Mark Few, man.
Yeah, this is the national title. He don't have the titles.
He's got a national title.
He does, but he don't have the titles.
Oh, no. You're right. Yeah.
How many times has Gonzaga been ranked number 1 and then
a lot?
But he's made it. He's made it to the national title. He proved a little school can get there.
He's got a couple, don't he?
Yep. But Houston had a big game in the Big 12 last night or Tuesday night. Yeah, it was last night. Beat Oklahoma State 72-63. I put this on here just because Houston's rolling right now. They're rolling, playing good basketball.
Houston just lost to Texas Tech. Has
they did, but they're playing good. They went to overtime. They're playing good basketball right now. Yeah, top 5 team in the country, top 10 team overall. I would say.
I don't know.
You don't like Houston top 10?
I like them top 10. I'll give you that, but I don't know. I don't know with this team. I really don't. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong. They're good. They were good last year before last, I think, right? They made it like Final 4 there one year.
Last year, I think the lead 8 because they were ranked in the top 4.
Okay, they were good. I knew they were good, but I think they're good. They're 18-4, obviously. The polls think they're good. They're 5th. I'm not saying they're a bad team. For some reason, I just don't have that feeling this year. Does that make sense?
I get that, but
they'll probably run all the way and win the national championship. But
with me looking at Houston, I know they got a great coach, Kelvin Sampson. He's a great coach. They were there last year. I mean, they were ranked in the top 3 all year. Had great talent. They didn't make it. I feel like there's an inner fire there. It's like, hey, we got a taste of it last year. Let's capitalize. I think Houston. I think they're a top 10 team. They're on the edge of being top 5 because I think if you're in the top 5, I consider you elite. If you're in top 10. 6 to 10, you're on the edge, but you're a great team. And I think they're right there between those two. They just got to put it all together. I'm not completely sold. I'm kind of like you with Houston, but I really feel like if they could build off of what they did last year, and they have, they came in this season and played good basketball. They're 18-4, and they got a great coach in Coach Sampson. Houston could be a team that makes a deep run. I mean, it's all going to depend on how these matchups fall come March. We'll see.
I need to look at Houston's schedule, honestly, and I'll give you more of a rundown.
They played some. I mean, they're in the Big 12. They beat Kansas. They beat
Kansas, but Kansas streaky.
They beat the teams they were supposed to beat.
Sure.
Let's put it that way.
And the reason they lost Texas Tech, I mean, And that was a heck of a game.
Yes.
Hats off Texas Tech. I said it. Hats off. Sorry. I got me cracked up. Yeah, I know. I took your words, but I mean, Texas Tech beat them because Texas Tech, honestly, in my opinion, is probably the hottest team in basketball right now. Them or Missouri.
Yeah. And I think Houston can keep on playing. I'm really looking forward. I know it's a couple weeks out, but that Iowa State-Houston game is going to be a really big game to determine which one of these teams is for real, which one's kind of like you're saying mid-tier.
And I'll go ahead and call that one. Houston's going to win that game.
Okay, I like it. Big game here. Put this one on here. This is the last game we're going to talk about second to last game. Kentucky.
What's happening?
Falls to 15-7 after losing to Ole Miss 98-84. We've talked about it all year. No defense, and if you allow a team to score 54 points against you in the first half, you don't deserve to win anyway, which is very interesting because you're talking about that Tennessee-Missouri game, and what is it, 60-55?
It is 66-58 with 7:57 to go, this is a high-scoring game for Tennessee.
Yeah, very weird on the defense. But Kentucky, we said it all year, they can run with any team in the country. They can run up and down the court, but when they got to play defense, they're terrible.
But surprisingly, I mean, they came into Tennessee. That's the only game they've won out of the last 5. So let's go here. You got their schedule on here. So they've lost to Alabama, 102-97. Lost to Vandy, 74-69. Come into Tennessee, which is a game that I thought for sure Tennessee should win.
Mm-hmm.
They won. Kentucky won, 78-73. Lost to Arkansas. Watch this game. Coach Calipari just beat them at their own game, 89-79. It was a good reunion for him. And then they lost again to Ole Miss, 98-94. So lost the last 4 out of 5. Definitely in a slump.
They're 4-5 in conference play.
How'd Brea do in this game? Where's he at?
I mean,
he's a stud.
I think you really made a good point there. Arkansas has been absolutely bottom of the barrel SEC.
They were 1-6 rolling into that game.
Calipari showed how to beat Alabama. Alabama, they beat them, but it's Alabama. They're a top team. They're 4th in the country. The Vandy game was kind of like a close game. It happens. Tennessee, then they go to Tennessee and win. But you talk about that Arkansas game. Arkansas beat them at their own game. So, in other words, Calipari said, you know what? They want to run a track meet. We're going to run an extra 100 meters, and we're going to beat them in this game. And they did. And I think Ole Miss took that same playbook and said, they don't want to play defense, but we can outrun them. And that's what happened here. I mean, by the score, you look at it, I watched a little bit of this game. Ole Miss was they were fast break, transition basketball was killing Kentucky. And when Kentucky has to make a stop, it does not happen. If there's a point in a game, other than the Tennessee game, if there's a point, even back in the Georgia game.
They shot like really, really good in that Tennessee game.
But even go back to the Georgia game when they lost at Georgia. There was 2 or 3 moments in that second half where they got all the way back within 2, and they needed one more stop, and they could not make it. And then the other team would shoot a 3. And this is what happened in this Ole Miss game. And if I'm a Kentucky fan, if I'm a Kentucky fan, I wish I was a Marquette and Iowa State fan because they're in a better situation right now, I think.
Yeah, they lost 7 games, man.
I mean,
we're going to watch Kentucky. I think they got another tough game coming up.
Yeah, I think they do too.
I mean, SEC is like ranked every freaking day, but
it just, I think the playbook here is outrun them. Don't worry about defense, just outrun them. And teams that are doing that are beating them.
I think Mark Pope's got a problem. I know in the beginning of the year, I asked you this question. Is Mark Pope better than Calipari? And you said yes, because at that time we saw what Kentucky has, which Kentucky still has it, guys. Don't get me wrong. They're 15-7, and definitely a big slump right now. But this team could easily click and go on and win it all because they have the talent for sure. But I'll ask you that question again: is Calipari better than Pope? Now, Kentucky fans asked for this. They wanted rid of Calipari.
Mm-hmm.
Calipari was with them for 15 seasons, right?
Yeah. And I will still say yes for the simple fact that he came in. I know he lost a lot with Calipari last time. Went to Arkansas, but look what Arkansas's doing with the players he got from Kentucky. Ain't doing much down there. Granted, they did beat Kentucky.
Well, almost the same record.
Yeah. As far as SEC,
like 15-8.
Yeah, but I look at Kentucky. He hasn't got all the people in that he wants. Pope is the type of guy. I think next year Kentucky will be even better because he's going to develop that talent. He's going to bring in people. He's going to get rid of this whole. I look at Pope as Calipari went there and got. I don't care who you are. If you're a 5-star,
right? He didn't fit his system. He didn't.
He'll go get 5 centers that are 5 stars and play them at all 5 positions. Right. He didn't care.
Yeah.
Pope's going to go out there and he's going to build a team, and I think you'll see a better. Next year will be better for Kentucky. Now, like you said, you made a good point. Kentucky can click at any time.
They really can.
And they're one of the teams that are unbeatable when they're clicking. But right now, they're just in this. Somebody's figuring them out, and it's hurting them. I do think Pope, long term, will be a better coach than Coach Calipari. I look back at the whole Kevin DeBoer thing with Nick Saban. You're coming in after a guy who won plenty of national titles, was recruiting, and you're wanting to go ahead. You're looking at comparing him to the guy before you. I don't like that judgment, but I do think long term Pope will be a better coach.
Okay. I'll hold you to it.
Another game, I put this on here because, you've talked about them a lot.
Yeah, good team.
Purdue beat Iowa. Iowa was down their best scorer, their top scorer in the for their team was out in this game. He's out for indefinitely, broke a finger or something. But Purdue won this game 90-81, a little closer than expected.
Was at Iowa.
It was at Iowa. Tough place to play there. Caitlin Clark's home. But like I said, Purdue did pull this one out 90-81. This game was tied at half, 36-36, but Purdue just outscored them in the second half and dominated it in the second half. Leading scorer for Purdue was Braden Smith. He had 31 points.
He's good.
11 for 15.
When he's on it, Purdue is very dangerous. And this is a team that quietly sneak it up in the rankings.
They are. They're there.
I put Purdue right now higher than Houston, based off what I've seen.
I can agree.
And that's hard for me to say because I do not. Let me clarify. I do not like Purdue.
Yeah, okay? It's because of one guy.
Yeah, Zach Edey. But that's beside the point. But I don't like them. So they cheat in football. They cheated in basketball. Whatever. But yeah, I do think this team is built for a run.
Yeah, I see that too. I mean, they're very sound, very all around. I do want to shout out Josh Nix here. I think they pulled this guy out of the crowd based off his picture.
He dropped 27.
He dropped 27 points, and he was 10 for 16 from the field, 4 for 7 from the free throw line.
Free throw.
I was a team, again, I kind of look at them like Vandy. They could be a problem in the Big Ten champion or the Big Ten tournament, and if they can make a run there, I think you can look at Iowa maybe making a run in the tournament or making it into the tournament. I'm
not making it in. I don't know if they'd make a run.
I didn't mean a run. I mean us carrying that over from the Big Ten. But one more game though from Tuesday. That is the Auburn versus Oklahoma. Auburn doing what Auburn's been doing all year.
God.
Dominated 98-70.
Defense.
Not much to talk about here with Oklahoma. They're struggling in football. They're really hating the fact they came to the SEC. They're really high hopes on their softball program is what Oklahoma's saying with the SEC
They're first,
play.
Right?
No. First time they've not been first.
Tennessee's top 5. Or maybe 8.
They're not, though, because everybody was talking about it. They were
maybe
shocked.
They're second or third. They're up there.
They are. I think they're second.
Second, okay.
I want to say it's Florida.
Florida first this year? Tennessee's up there, too.
Yes. It's Florida or Tennessee won. Give me 1 second.
While Hess is looking that up, of course, Broome led Auburn again with 15 points, 4 of 8 shooting.
Preseason rankings. Texas, Florida, Oklahoma.
Texas, Florida, Oklahoma. Where's Tennessee at? 8th?
5th.
5th. Okay, top 5. Nice.
Yep.
Shoo.
So, yeah, Oklahoma's...
Not to be on my soapbox opera with Tennessee, but that is a sports school this year, is it not?
Got some games going on right now. It's Wednesday. You are talking about the Tennessee game. We kind of know where that one's at. Duke is playing Syracuse. Duke was up pretty big in that one. Last I seen 43-27. And last I looked, I think this game has went final. I'll give you a real quick one here. It has went final. Duke was up 67-53 with 7 minutes to go.
Solid.
Tennessee,
that is Michigan, in the Apple too, right? That's at Syracuse.
Yes. And Michigan ended up winning 80-76 over Oregon.
Big win there.
Yeah. So I just want to touch base on those games. Also,
Tennessee's currently up 70-61, 5:15 to go, and Chaz Lanier's at the line.
I didn't know when we was going to record this one based off our time because I was recorded a little earlier on Wednesday, but I was going to throw this out there, but it's not going to come to fruition. I was looking back on my Facebook today, and I had shared a post from 13 years ago. Miami upset Duke in Duke. So
I think I actually had a post on that because that was back when I was big on my Duke wagon.
I tagged you in it.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Yes.
I think I saw that this morning. I always like looking at those Facebook memories, guys. Tells me how old I'm getting.
Yeah. So that ain't going to happen this time.
Wow, Duke, really? That's what I said. Wow, Duke, really? ... Tyler Hess liked it. 13 years. Tyler Hess liked it. Let's see who else liked it. Let's see if I can call some other people out here. Kendall Henderson and Brian White. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Which Brian was a huge Duke fan. which we all were, right? I mean, it was either Duke or UNC. I think every kid goes through
absolutely.
that because of just based off the rivalry. And then, some of us actually grow up.
I was a North Carolina fan of basketball because of Bob Jones. Bob
You
Jones
didn't
looked
get
at
my
me.
joke?
I
No.
heard it.
Yeah. That's to you Duke fans out there, guys.
Bob, we were in algebra class in 7th grade. And he's like, Hess, who do you cheer for in college basketball? I was like, I guess Virginia Tech since I like them in football. And he's like, no, you pick one or two and there's only one answer and it's North Carolina. I was like, okay, Bob, North Carolina.
Yeah, seriously, guys. It was always North Carolina Duke, and I'm just picking at you, Duke fans. Chill out. Y'all been coming at us, so I'm just giving it back.
There's some big games here Saturday. I want to go over these really quick. Just kind of going to throw them out, and I want to get your prediction on who you think's going to win. Missouri, Texas A&M, number 10, Texas A&M travels to number 15, Missouri. Who you got?
This game's at Missouri. If Tennessee ends up winning this game, give me Missouri. If Missouri ends up winning this game, give me Texas A&M.
I like that take because we haven't really figured out what A&M's got. There are times they look great, and there's times it's like, what's
got good defense. Really good defense. Buzz Williams, another great coach, knows how to build a defense. Both these teams very well could be 17-5 entering this game. Mm-hmm. SEC, guys. I know y'all say we talk about the SEC a lot, but how could you not?
Yeah. But hey, for the people who say we talk about the SEC too much, we got a big 12 game. Two teams that you've talked about a lot. Texas Tech travels to Arizona.
Arizona's ranked now.
Yeah, Arizona's ranked 20th. Who you got in this one?
It's at Arizona. It's tough.
At Arizona.
It's a late game. 10 p.m., I guess, 8 p.m., 7 p.m.? 7 p.m. over there.
7 p.m.
The Red Raiders are hot. Like I said, in my opinion, I think they're one of the hottest teams right now. But
Caleb Love's hot.
The Zona is hot as well.
It's hot in Arizona.
Give me Arizona. Home win. I like this odds here. 68% chance to win for Arizona. It's going to be tight, though. Going to be a close game. 4 points or less.
Give me Chance McMillan and Texas Tech in this one.
I think that could go either way. It's a toss-up.
I'm not worried about this game, this next one on here, but I put it on here because I didn't want to get ridiculed or hated on for not talking about them. Duke travels to Clemson, 6 p.m. on ESPN. Who you got in this one?
Clemson with the upset.
Oh, mother.
Clemson with the upset.
Thanks. Great. Good to hear that.
I just want y'all Duke fans. I love it, guys. I love when y'all bring up stuff and bring it to Hess and I. It's great. Yeah. It's great. It brings energy to the pod. Me and Hess and I talk about it a lot, believe it or not, guys, outside of this. Yeah. So I really do, all jokes aside, I really do think Clemson can be a problem for Duke at Clemson. The place is going to be rocking. Clemson's not bad. They're 18-5. Chase Hunter's their leading guy. He's dropped 17.7 points per game. Of course, Cooper Flagg is the guy for Duke. I mean, Clemson has a low percentage to win this game. They got a 27% chance, according to ESPN.
That's analytics.
But give me Clemson. Somehow, I just think it's Duke's time. Maybe. I'm looking for Auburn. I'm waiting on Auburn to get that.
I like what you said there because I was about to say I think Duke's due.
They are.
They're due
and if I'm a Duke fan, if I lose this game, I'm okay.
Per Jacob Compton, this was the only game he was worried about this week. He wasn't worried about.
He wasn't worried about Syracuse. I was a little bit worried about Syracuse traveling.
I'm still going to take Duke in this one. I just think they got a little bit too much of a clip. I'd love to see the upset, so that would be great. But I wanted to mention Cooper Flagg. They're talking about the NBA because potential number 1 draft pick. There was one NBA executive that came out and said they don't see him as a star. They see him as a star role player, not as a star scorer. They said he don't have all the intangibles. He's better off he'd be better off the bench in the NBA than as a star.
Wow.
I don't really agree with that, but that was one example. But there's a saying going around the NBA about some of these teams tanking. Hence, the Houston Rockets. I don't know if you watched the highlights from last night's game. They threw an inbound pass. Actually, they didn't even guard the Nets on. There was 10 seconds left in the game. Houston was up 5. The Nets shot a 3. They didn't even guard the guy on the 3. He makes the 3. 4 seconds left in the game. Houston throws the ball inbound to the Nets, and they shoot another 3 and win the game by 1. But there's a saying going around in the NBA. They're all tanking for Cooper Flagg. And the saying they are using is capture the flag.
Nice.
So.
I like that. CTF. Nice.
That's CTF.
Yeah. I disagree with that take. I do think Cooper will be a starting player.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. But
he's a freak of nature as an athlete.
It's probably Steve Kerr being stupid or
Oh,
something.
probably. It's probably like, somebody trading Luka to the Lakers for AD or something. Probably something like as dumb as that.
Speaking of that trade, the Mavericks won that trade.
Yeah, the Mavericks did win that trade, but we'll see. Luka's apparently going to start this Sunday. I was reading that because I do.
There is a rumor.
That.
I know we're talking about the NBA. There is a rumor out there.
I got one other thing I'm going to say about the NBA.
That KD is going back to the Warriors, and they are recruiting. They're recruiting LeBron to go with him as well.
There was also another big trade today. Kyle Kuzma to the Bucks.
Yeah.
So I saw that go through.
Then Washington waived Chris Middleton because he was in that trade. They waived him.
Yeah, I saw Middleton's off, which is crazy.
He'll end up on a team and he's still good.
Yeah,
he's still averaging like 20 points a game.
What I was going to say though, I think it's either the GM or player manager, whoever is over the players as far as that made that trade, apparently fumbled the Steph Curry Nike deal back in like 2013.
Yes. He spelled his name wrong.
2016. No, he kept saying KD. No, KD.
KD. Oh.
He kept saying KD. They had a KD on the presentation, and he did call him Seth one time, or Stephen. That's what he called it, Steph, and stuff like that. So he fumbled that deal, which has led, Steph Curry to Under Armour.
Yep.
So he fumbled that, and now he just fumbled Luka. And also saw where Dallas Mavericks lost. They were at 5.3 million followers on Instagram, and they dropped to 4.6 after that trade. I mean, that was their guy. That was the guy. He led him to the finals last year. Mm-hmm. They have Kyrie. You have Luka. I like Luka. I like him a lot. I think he's great.
Yes, I think he's great.
I mean, he's Dirk 2.0, just a little bit smaller.
Different position,
but a little bit smaller. But he can shoot the lights out. He's nasty. But I'm excited to see him on the Lakers. I know Josh Williams probably isn't. I talked to him a little bit about it earlier this week. So AD going to Dallas is going to be weird.
Jacob Compton is messaging in our Snapchat.
Oh, okay. Already. It's something about Syracuse, I'm sure.
He said, the balls are hanging on. I was worried in the first half. How about those Devils?
Well, Jacob, don't you listen? You listen to today.
Yeah.
We are talking about those Devils, big man.
Yeah.
Yeah, old Devils. Mm-hmm.
But I do think I think the Lakers got Luka to make him the face. I think they shop LeBron. I think he goes to the Warriors, and because him and Steph have wanted to play together, I think it happens.
Really?
That's hypothetical.
I don't think so, because Bronny's now on the roster, right, for Lakers? Mm-hmm. I think he made the roster.
They had their moment. He did do pretty good in the G League.
He did very good.
Oh, breaking news out of the NBA. The Heat are sending Jimmy Butler to the Warriors as part of a multi-team trade. The six-time All-Star has agreed to a 2-year, $121 million extension with the Golden State Warriors.
Shoo! $60 million a year? 60 and a half? Yep. Golly!
KD has no interest in a Warriors reunion.
Okay.
I think today was a trade deadline.
Must have been, because there was a bunch of big trades today. Like I said, Kuzma going to Milwaukee was pretty big.
One more game Saturday. Talk about real fast here. Creighton. Marquette travels to Creighton. Who you got?
Give me Creighton again.
Give me Creighton.
Creighton's tough right now, guys. 16-6. They win this game, they're definitely ranked rolling in next week. Marquette, this is kind of a must-win game for them.
Yeah, absolutely. But guys, like I said, basketball and a little baseball. Here's your little baseball here to wrap up this last 10 minutes of this episode. February 14th, Valentine's Day. Perfect time for baseball to start, in my opinion. We all love baseball. Got the two top 25 polls. You got the one from Perfect Game, and you also got the one from Baseball America. Not much difference in it other than you see Tennessee at 3 in Baseball America, and Georgia falls from 4 in the Perfect Game one to 11 in Baseball America. I think the coaches polls got both of them in the top 5. So, but just looking at it, at the top 25 here, I know we went over it a couple podcasts ago. Is there a team here in this preseason top 25 that you're kind of looking at outside of Tennessee that you're like, watch them and see what can happen?
Yeah, I got a couple here. UNC, definitely. I think they're a very, very solid squad. Haven't seen West Virginia yet, but I like seeing them in the top 25.
They made a great run last year. They made it always super regional last year.
I have to look up them a little bit. I know Duke. Apparently, I've heard from a lot from Dr. Compton that Duke baseball should be very good. So keep an eye on them. I'm going ACC school here, but there's one SEC school that I think could be very dangerous this year, and that's LSU.
LSU's there. I think last year was a down year because everything they lost Skeens and Cruz.
They're going to be good.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to go a little bit farther away from some of this stuff. I'm watching my Bulldogs. Obviously, I think they're going to have a great year.
Yeah, let me clarify. Vols, we're going to win it again. Let me just clarify again.
Arkansas, that's a team. Florida State. But I'm really looking at some of these teams in the bottom half of this top 25. Coastal Carolina pops up on one of these here. UC Santa Barbara, perennial. They're a team that's usually, they've had a couple down years, but they're finally getting back on track. But the team I'm really looking at here is Dallas Baptist. Last year, they made it really good. I think they only lost 3 games last year going into like the Super Regional. I think Dallas Baptist could really make a big run. That's a team that's going to be fun to watch. And one that kind of catches me off, that's Clemson's logo. Never mind. I thought that was Campbell. I was going to say, because they made a run last year. And UC Irvine. That's another one.
UC Irvine, yeah.
They've been pretty good. But I'm really excited about baseball. Before we go into some of the game, I'm not going to talk about them, but they're on here. But your top recruiting classes coming in this season was LSU at 1, Texas 2, Arkansas, Tennessee, Vandy. Top 5, all SEC schools. Then you're looking at Miami, who's not even ranked in the top 25. I don't think they've got them. Yeah, they're not even there, and they had a great recruiting class at 6. Then you have another SEC school in Oklahoma, Georgia, Oklahoma State, Mississippi State, Alabama's 12, Virginia, Duke, 18 and 20th respectively, and Virginia Tech, 24th best recruiting class. They had a really good class this year, getting back to where they was at the year they made the Super Regional. It's going to be interesting to see. We do have a lot of games that go over on the 4th. There's some
to clarify that, 13 out of the top 25 were SEC.
Yeah, and then the rest are pretty much ACC schools.
ACC Duke, for the most part. Yeah,
yeah. Duke, Georgia Tech, Virginia. Yeah,
Miami.
Yeah. I mean, baseball it's usually ACC
on this side of
SEC.
The coast. Yeah. That's why I was so surprised with
very far west
Oregon.
Coast.
Yeah, Oregon's coming in season 14th, which is crazy.
Well, last year they made it. They
were pretty good.
They made it deep in the Super Regional. They may have made the Omaha last year. Oregon did.
Maybe. I can't remember.
I got some great uniforms, great stadium too. Some games going on the 14th, guys. Pretty much every ranked team's playing. There's several tournaments. You got the Puerto Rico Challenge. You got the Shriners Children's College Showdown. That's in Texas. Played Ranger Stadium.
It's a ranked matchup, first game.
Yep. Clemson versus Oklahoma State. That's at 12 p.m., guys. So if you're at work, get that ESPN Plus app because you can watch every baseball game there is on Hulu or ESPN Plus. So you don't have to have
every baseball game. You don't have to have SEC Plus or any of that others.
ESPN Plus has got all that in it, and every baseball game is broadcast on ESPN Plus.
Nice.
So if you have Hulu or anything like that, you have it, or Disney Plus. You can watch it on Disney Plus as well because they partnered with Hulu and all that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the Clemson Oklahoma State game. That's one I'll be watching. The UVA game, I'll be watching that one to see if our boy Buchanan plays any. Kind of watching him. This will be his last year. He'll be a senior.
I thought he already graduated.
Did he graduate?
I think he graduated. Graduated last year.
But he had one more year.
Not positive he graduated.
I'll look that up. Another big game, Duke, Cincinnati, North Carolina, Texas Tech. Again, guys, all of these are on the 14th.
Valentine's Day.
Yep. Nebraska, UC Irvine. That's in the MLB Desert Invitational. That's in the Diamondback Stadium. Tennessee opens up against Hofstra. Don't slouch on Hofstra. Last year they only lost 7 games, so that could be a really good matchup. Florida State plays James Madison. A lot of big games here, guys. I'm excited to see baseball start. Just really quick, I really think we're going to have an amazing season in baseball. At the end of the day, who are the 2 teams you see in the College World Series in Omaha? I know there's like 16 teams make the Omaha, but who's the final 2? Like right now, if you could put money on it and you didn't lose the money, who you put it on?
That's tough.
A lot of open air here.
You know what? I'm going to say Tennessee.
Tennessee going for the repeat.
Uh-huh.
Back to back.
Wake Forest. Going out on a limb.
I want to take I think these guys are on a redemption tour after last year because I really think they should have won the national championship. Nothing against Tennessee. I love Tony Vitelli. He's my favorite coach of college baseball. But Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah. They were good.
Texas A&M. And I'm high on them Blue Devils. I like the pitching they got coming in this season. I'm high on my Bulldogs, but I don't think they're there yet. But
that's tough to predict because we ain't seen them play yet. So.
It is going to be hard. I mean, there's a lot of games. Give me Clemson and Texas A&M.
Clemson, Texas A&M. So we're both going one ACC, one SEC. And I very well could see that.
But I really think you're going to see Dallas Baptist at Omaha. UC Santa Barbara will be there. I think most of your SEC schools that are ranked here, Oregon will be one in Omaha.
Keep an eye on Oklahoma too. I know he's bagging on them, not necessarily
Yeah.
me in the SEC, but I think they're a pretty good baseball team usually.
They need some. I mean, they're number 7 ranked in baseball or recruiting class, so that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, guys, excited about baseball. Next week, Sunday, we will break down probably one conference. Probably pick the SEC first since we're really familiar with the SEC. And then we're going to drop some 10-minute episodes to cover some of these other conferences. Wednesday will be another baseball mixture with baseball like this one, but probably more baseball going because baseball does start on Friday next week. Is that right? Valentine's Day next week?
Saturday. I thought you said Saturday. I thought Valentine's Day is a Saturday. No, but it is Friday. So Daytona is on a Saturday.
No, it's the 16th.
It's the 16th. Okay, so days are off. Okay. Valentine's, guys, just in case you need to take your lady out, it's next Friday. Just let you know.
Next Friday.
Get those reservations in.
If you're a baseball fan, next week is going to be the time to really tune in to Tyler's Talking Sports. We're going to cover it pretty heavy, get into it, and then from this foreseeable future, we'll be going back and forth, baseball, basketball.
Let us know what y'all want, too.
Yeah. If you want a little bit more of something else, let us know. We'll do it. But, guys, we appreciate you guys listening. I will say this. On Sundays, I will be dropping our episodes a day early. If you are following us on Facebook or subscribe to us on YouTube, you get exclusive one-day access early before everybody else to view our episodes. So be sure you're following us and subscribe to us on YouTube. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. Be safe out there. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Don't drink and drive. Have a DD. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, guys. Take care.